A young professional sits in a quiet office after a long day. The meeting did not go his way. On the walk home, his mind keeps replaying the worst parts. He tells himself, "They do not respect me. I always mess this up. This is hopeless." By the time he gets home, his mood has hardened into something heavier. He snaps at the people he loves, loses focus on the work that matters, and drifts into another night of scrolling and second-guessing. He thinks those thoughts are nothing more than noise. But those thoughts are training him, and what we repeat long enough becomes who we are. James Allen starts chapter 1 with a simple law. A person is shaped by the thoughts they hold most often. Character is not built by chance. Character is built by thought. He goes further and says that cause and effect operates in the realm of thought just as reliably as it does in the physical world. Keep a pattern of thought long enough, and it hardens into character. Keep a character long enough and it shapes your life. Lesson 1. Your most repeated thoughts become your character. Allen's first move is radical responsibility. He writes that a person is literally what they think, and that character is the complete sum of all their thoughts. He also says that in the armory of thoughts, a person forges the weapons that destroy them, or the tools that build mansions of joy, strength, and peace. Thought becomes tendency. Tendency becomes trait. Trait becomes the version of you that shows up without effort. Try this simple practice today. Name one thought loop that shows up when you are under pressure. It might be, "They do not respect me," or "This is hopeless." For the next 24 hours, each time it appears, replace it with a precise thought that matches the person you are building. Say, "I act from clarity," or "I learn fast and adjust," or "I take the next right step." Lesson 2. Thought becomes action, and action produces outcomes. Every act springs from the hidden seeds of thought. Act is the blossom of thought. Joy and suffering are its fruits. The fruit you taste, it reflects the seed you kept watering. If the seed you plant most often is resentment, then your actions will be sharp words, withdrawal and sabotage. The fruit will be isolation and distrust. If the seed is patience and purpose, then your actions will be restraint and steady effort. The fruit will be respect and momentum. Audit one area of life that keeps producing bitter fruit. It may be the same argument that repeats, the habit you cannot break, or the work you keep avoiding. Ask yourself 3 questions. What was I thinking in the hour before I acted? If that thought were a seed I water every week, what fruit would it logically grow? What seed would grow the opposite fruit? Write one clear sentence for the seed you want to plant. For example, "I keep the promise I make before I am tired." Lesson 3. Cause and effect in thought is a law. When you accept that cause and effect is absolute in the realm of thought, you stop negotiating with yourself and start practicing. He writes that only by patience, practice, and ceaseless persistence can a person enter the door of real knowledge. You do not drift into mastery. You knock until it opens. People often demand new circumstances while protecting the thoughts that create the old ones. They fight the fruit while watering the same seeds. Allen warns about this pattern later in the book, but the remedy starts here in chapter 1. If you want a different harvest, you do not negotiate with the fruit. You change the seed. You are the gardener of your inner life. If you do not plant on purpose, wild seed blows in. A noble and steady character is not a gift from fortune. It is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking. You become your most repeated thoughts. Acts are those thoughts coming into bloom. Outcomes are the honest fruit. Treat this like gravity for the mind. You can fight it, or you can use it. Now let us return to the young professional. Before he learned this law, he let the worst thought win the hour after the meeting. That thought trained him, and not for the better. After learning this law, he chooses a different response. He sits for 2 minutes and writes today's seed. He rehearses the 3 moments that usually derail him, and preloads the thought he intends to use. He goes home and stays present with the people he loves. He moves tomorrow's work an inch forward instead of numbing out. This is part 1 of our series on As a Man Thinketh. In part 2, we will explore the effect of thought on circumstances,